Griffin and I were both 25. We hadn't seen each other since college, but kept in close contact. I was working at a cybersecurity firm, and I really wasn't sure what he had been doing. He always told me he was just working on something. I took a few vacation days from work to go and see him. We went camping for a night. When we woke up the following morning, he told me about the machine. "Wow, sure is beautiful," I said, stepping out of my tent. "Damn right it is," Griffin responded. He was a silhouette in front of the red light of dawn creeping over the mountain behind him. "Come here." He was fixing a pot of coffee. "Yes, sir." "It's serious. Come here." I sat beside him on a large log we rolled over the night before to sit on around the fire. "What's up?" "I want to tell you," he said. "Tell me what?" "What I've been working on." "Oh, all right. But hear me loud and clear. You can't tell anybody. It's a secret between you, me, and God." "I won't. I swear to—" No. I don't need any promises or swears. I just need your word. Say it again. You won't tell anybody." "I won't tell anybody, Griff." "Okay, then." He sipped from his thermos and muttered, "A man's only as good as his word. Someone famous said that, I think." "I think that's from the Bible, dude." "Huh. That's funny, considering what I'm about to tell you. Makes me wonder if there is a God." He trailed, looking off in the distance. That uneased me for some reason. "Go on, tell." "Let me start off by saying this. I know how it's going to sound. Crazy. I know. You're gonna think good old Griff has lost his mind. But bear with me now. I have proof. I have it with me." "You have what with you?" "The machine. That's what I call it." "What does it do?" "It can... Well, let me show you." He ran to his tent, unzipped something, and came back with a laptop of sorts. But it was heavily modified, and connected to it by wires was a small black box. He put the laptop in his lap and put the box next to him on the ground. "You carried all that on a hike? You could have shown me all this stuff back at your place." "I could have, yes, but didn't want to. What I have here is a gamechanger, man. If the government is tapping our phones and TVs, I don't want them to know about this." He pressed a couple buttons and the machine made a whirring startup sound. "It takes a minute to get going." "What does it do?" I asked again. "It can create, destroy, and transport matter." He said it bluntly, then sighed long and hard. I could tell he'd been waiting to tell someone about it. I didn't have an answer to what he said. I was silent. I didn't believe him, but at the same time I believed he was about to show me something I'd never forget. Dread began to boil inside of me. "You don't believe me," he smiled. "I wouldn't believe me either, but let me show you once this gets working." He patted his hand on the box like a man would pat his dog's head. "You're really telling me that thing can just... what? Create something out of nothing?" His smile never thinned. "Yes, and delete something into nothing. And it can move matter in a millisecond, faster even." So, your box breaks every law of physics? It's not my box. It is the machine. A couple of bips came from the modified laptop. He typed a couple things frantically, then looked in my eyes. His smile had been replaced with a stern, determined grimace. "Hold out your hand," he said. I obeyed and held my hand out, palm towards the sky. "Ready?" he said. I nodded wordlessly, my tongue stuck in my throat. He pressed the button, and I felt a weight in my hand instantly. Faster, even. My jaw dropped slightly, and all my concentration, all my senses, and all my sanity was working overtime trying to comprehend what had just happened. In my hand was a nice, shiny, red apple. It came from nowhere. There was no sound, no wind, no whoosh or kapow. It did not exist a second before, but there it was, sitting in my hand. "Hold out your other hand," he said. I was not looking at him, but I knew he still had his serious face on. I complied and held out my other hand, almost hypnotically. My eyes were still transfixed on the apple. That is, until it wasn't there. It had moved to my other hand, if you could even call it moving. It transported, it teleported, it shifted through time and space like it was no big deal. And then, a couple seconds later, it vanished, gone. He deleted it, never to be seen again. Astounded, excited, terrified. Those three emotions battled out in my head. I took in a deep draw of air, realizing I had stopped breathing somewhere in those 20 seconds or so. How? That was all I could manage to say. "Later," he told me. "Later, I'll tell you how everything works. Quit your job. Work with me." I just... I know. It's mind-boggling. Come work with me on it. It can be improved. There's so much to do. But I need a paycheck and... No, you don't. When I said this was a game changer, I meant it. What do you need money for? Food? We can create all the food you need. You want a new house? We can build one with this. But how are you going to keep the lights on? We hook it up to a battery-run generator, and we simply create and replace the battery with a fresh one every day. Car, gas, water. I haven't had a bank account for a full year, man. And I'll never need another cent again. My hands were still stretched out. My body felt like it was in shock. "Okay." His smile reappeared. "Okay, let's do it." He closed the laptop and put it to his side. He cracked a beer open even though it was at 8:30 a.m. and he looked to the sunrise. I turned and watched it too. "The possibilities are endless," he said. "So you've tested it a lot, I'm assuming." "Yep, a whole lot." I don't know why my mind went to this, but it did. "Have you ever, done it to a human?" He side-eyed me. "Done what?" "Well, have you ever deleted someone, or moved someone, or created?" He seemed to think on it before responding. I'm not sure if I can create a human. I don't know the intricacies that go into building a living being. But I've moved myself, teleported, whatever you want to call it. Not far, just to a different room in my house. It's a weird feeling, but it works. I waited for him to go on, but it didn't. So I asked, and deleted? No. He took a swig from his bottle. I've deleted an insect though. A spider. He was just gone, like the apple. Never done it to a human. I was relieved he hadn't murdered someone. But then I thought, well, it wouldn't be murder, would it? They wouldn't be dead. They'd just not exist anymore. Every atom of them would be gone from the universe. Any consciousness or awareness they once held would be vaporized into absolutely nothing. Maybe it'd be more peaceful than death. Or maybe it'd be a fate much worse. But then I thought of how this could change everything. This machine could feed the hungry forever. It could erase tumors and cancerous cells. It could provide shelter and clothing for everyone. It could eliminate the need for any transportation. It could clean the atmosphere. It could transport people to other planets instantly. Humans could expand all across the galaxy. The entire universe, maybe. We are going to change the world, I said. We are going to run the world, he responded. And as his words died in the morning air, my worries came to life. The machine can destroy anything, idiot, I thought to myself. It can and will destroy. Sure, your good little two shoes wants to help humanity. But imagine what will happen if a terrorist organization had it. They could wipe out an entire city at the snap of their fingers. A hostile country could delete an entire continent if they like. Hell, all it'd take is one evil son of a bitch with the key to that thing to destroy the entire Earth, or the solar system, or the universe. These thoughts clashed in my head. I sipped my coffee. Griffin sipped his beer. We watched the sunrise. Whatever was to come, I couldn't stop it now.